All right, JMO, come to you in 5, 4, 3.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Derek Laughlin in for the Ms. Man. And you got the center of attention, the guy who clears it up when it needs to be clogged up. But I'm going to say this, the man is a man amongst men.
Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. All right.
I'm going to say this, and Derek, you can join us because we're going to talk Tiger talk right now because everybody was against me yesterday. Everybody was telling me it's over. That's trash. Throw it out and everything like that. And all I'm saying to you all, I'm going to say this again. You all cheered them when they got on the hot spell. They was 15 and a half up. Everybody was shouting Tigers. Everybody went and bought them a crispy clean jersey. Everybody was there. I remember I went to the season opener downtown, and I was at Buddy's Pizza, and we was watching the game and watching the fans. There was more fans out of the stadium that was in. But I'm going to tell you what, everybody was talking Tigers, and they got swept by the Dodgers. And I'm like, same old Tigers, right? No, James, we made it to the playoffs last year. I don't know what you thinking. I went, okay. Oh, I got you. This general manager, and this manager put together a team that came together at the right time, and they did it. And they wanted to do it. And they kept everybody together. And I thought Baez was going away. I thought he was bye-bye time. Everybody thought that. He got hurt. We thought he was gone. No. By the middle of the season, Baez was the MVP of the team. He was doing everything. He was hitting home runs. He was catching balls in the center field. I mean, he left the shortstop position and played center field. You guys don't remember that? He did what the team asked him to do, and he did it. I think A.J. Hinch was calling it, they do what they need to do. We do what we need to do, and I ask a lot of this team, and they do it. And we were all bought in. We bought in on this.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done now.
All right. You know what? What did I do? What did I do yesterday? What was our high school cheer? Na 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 na.
But you
now, one or two things had to have happened, Jamie. One is, or maybe three things. One is they read their press clippings and thought they were good and hadn't won anything significant. Two, you and I both come from team sport scenarios.
Yes, we do.
So if you're ahead 15 games and that lead drops to 12, then that lead drops to 10, that lead drops to 5. Don't in there time for a readjustment from the players, like as we all know, the famous team only meetings.
Yeah.
Where you come together. Okay. Now, thirdly, since I'm not the total baseball aficionado, this may have happened too. And that is, in baseball, there's a formula. And that formula is the better teams know how to take it easy earlier in the year and turn it on at the latter part of the year, where the Tigers have not learned that. They poured all their gumption into the first part of the season, got that big old lead, when the other teams are just sitting back going, okay, that's them young Tigers over there. Now the real pros start showing up about halfway, midway of the season. Now it's time to play ball. Like the NBA. Great NBA teams know when to turn it on and know when to relax a little bit. Our Tigers obviously have not learned that.
No. In the 2020s, what you do is you make some changes. You got to make some periodical changes. This guy, we're weak here, we're weak there. We need this, we need that.
Yes.
None of that happened.
I agree with you on that.
Because we had a manager who is a World Series champion manager, but we don't talk about that because that was in those bang around trash can days. Remember what I'm talking about? Down in Houston. We don't want to talk about that. But he's a world champion manager. He knows what he's doing.
He should know.
Maybe I don't see. Here's the thing. We don't know. Did the general manager step in and say, hey, we got this. Don't worry. We got what we need. Because like I said, last year, after the All-Star game, they went on a 31-10, 31-11 run, and they made the playoffs. And they played such great baseball. And then they came back and played such great baseball in the beginning. I mean, Big Sweet, we don't need to change. We can keep it rolling. That's what they said.
Right, but I go back to the formula. You said after the All-Star game last year, bam, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the formula in baseball. Baseball players know hum during the first part, but after the All-Star game, okay, now we need to do what we need to do. And the Tigers took advantage of, maybe not took advantage, but that's how what allowed them to get that kind of a lead. It was because they didn't understand the formula.
Maybe the general manager and the manager saw that they had a big enough lead that they could last it out. Even if the Cleveland Indians made a big run, there were two teams that were back 15. The Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Guardians, I don't mean to call them out of their name. The Cleveland Guardians were 17 games back, Big Sweet. 17 games back. So, I mean, who saw that coming? Nobody saw Cleveland coming like that. Nobody saw that. Come on. You know as well as I do. But all of a sudden, they were getting caught, and nobody picked up on it. Nobody. We're sitting here, Baez, when he stopped playing and his game wasn't improving anymore, they should have saw that as a barometer. They should have saw a lot of things happening, and they didn't.
So with that being said, you're putting the onus on the general manager and Finch.
Well, that's who I should. That's who should be.
I agree.
And the manager, that's who it should be.
But their urgency would have to trickle down. And if they did nothing, the players felt like there was no. I mean, you was right. Would Joe Gibbs allow you to go through a skid like that without cussing you out, or not cussing you out, but
Joe Gibbs would have never let that happen, and nor would Charlie, or nor would the general managers that we had. Right. All I'm saying to you is that I don't think AJ Hinch inside the locker room did not want to cause chaos. He wanted them to play a different way. He didn't want to alarm them. He just wanted to push them. That's why they're pushing it to the next day. Well, now they only got 4 more days. I mean, they can't push it no more. But here's the thing. They still got a chance. I know you guys are done with them. You made them crash, and everybody's done with them. I'm moving to hockey. I'm moving to the Lions and all of that. I get it, but you're throwing away something that you've waited for years. You've waited for years for this.
But it takes gumption to be a champion, and they obviously don't have it. They just they didn't have gumption to protect their lead. They didn't have gumption to fight back or something like that.
A lot of guys ain't been through this. And AJ Hinch has been through this. He knows. He's the one that knows. He is the one guy that knows what it takes to be a champion.
Well, he should have come in the clubhouse.
Hey, he knows. He's been there before. He
should have come in the clubhouse kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
He should have come in the clubhouse kicking and screaming and letting them know that this is unacceptable. To go from 15 up to I mean, it was like going off a cliff. It wasn't like, okay, 15, 12, 11. I mean, they went off a cliff, man.
No.
Yes.
It's been like a parachute. You falling, but you ain't hit the ground yet. You ain't close yet. when you're looking
But
at your,
but you
you're looking at
you can
that,
see you can see the grass.
yeah,
You can see
it. You can
you
see
can see
it.
the grass. You can see the dirt because you're that close. You know, you can see the, and then you sent the article to me that showed they called it potentially, what was the 4-letter word that they used? Epic.
I get it.
Epic.
And it is epic. It's getting to that point to be epic. They can still, hey, you can still pull up. You gotta really pull up. Right now, you in crash mode, but you better pull up. You better eject, you better do something. Hey, get that plane.
I think eject is a good word. And that's what me and Miz do. We got our parachutes and we ejected already.
I haven't ejected yet. Because you know what? You might as well believe in them. They gave you a great summer.
Yes, they did.
Gave you a great summer. And you can't just bail on them now.
But the season is not summer only. It's a summer-fall league. It's a summer-fall season. It's a summer-fall sport.
I bet you. I'm going to tell you this right now. They're going to make movies about this. It's going to be romantic movies.
I agree with you on that.
They're going to make movies about this. I don't know what they'll call it. Derek, go ahead. You haven't had a chance to get in.
Say Moneyball, more like choke ball or something. I don't know. The monumental collapse, though. I mean, I was here in studio with you guys. You guys were in Detroit for opening day. Buddy's Pizza, you know. The vibe was amazing.
It was incredible.
And I've been considering getting a Scuba jersey. I've been kind of waiting on them to do the whatever contract they want to do.
Right. That should have been done. We talked about this before the show. That if you wanted to prove something to your team that you meant business, Scuba should have been the first guy re-signed. I don't care. You could have did it at the All-Star break. Could have did it when he wrote that damn letter to the community, to the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? You have got to show that you're putting down some stakes around this team, and they didn't. They let it waste away. They did, not the team. I give the blame to A.J. Hinch and the general manager.
Yeah, because Alex Cobb they signed last year. He hasn't gotten the ball once. You know,
that sounds like a baseball Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That sounds, huh? You like that comparison? You like that comparison? That was a baseball Jerry Jones.
I mean,
I'm just wondering what Bregman, if we had Bregman, how much different would we be right now? Because our plate discipline is abysmal.
Right.
You know, I think Javier, I think Baez is drawn on like 1 or 2 walks since the All-Star break.
Right.
Play discipline's not there at all.
He just he faded. That's what I'm saying. Where are the heroes now? There's no heroes anymore. There's no hitting the saviors. You remember they used to get the lucky balls and everything. Now we can't get a hit. We can't sniff. We can't.
That's
sniff
what I'm saying, Jamie. That's psychological. That's mental. And somebody, coach, general manager, captain of the team, senior leadership, or something had to pull them out. And you know, like you said, we both came from football backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
You know when things got rough, man. There was a players only meeting, sometimes some cussing and some fussing and some finger pointing and some FUs and some other stuff coming out. Right. That obviously didn't happen over there. They're just kumbaya. We're losing kumbaya. You know. Man, there need to be. If you were on the team as a senior member of that team, you wouldn't just swallow what was going on.
Everybody would have been called out. I'd have called out.
Exactly.
I called myself out too. I would say this is not the standard around here. We set the standard at the beginning of the year. We're not living to those standards now.
Exactly. All y'all walking around here
stuff together.
Yeah, that's right. All y'all walking around here like we done something. We ain't done squat yet. You know, come on, leaders. Come on, captain. Come on, ownership. Somebody take the ball and run. Somebody, you know, you can't be friends and all the time. Families have disagreements. To try to win something, to try to be better. Sometimes it takes what's the intervention, tough love, intervention, whatever you want to call it.
That plane is heading to Boston. That plane is heading to Boston today. On that plane is on fire right now. And that's that fire. Everybody should be looking at one another and looking at having a mirror, looking at each other, looking at yourself. Look inside yourself. I don't know what you need to do.
Do you want to be known as a team member of one of the epic collapses in Major League Baseball? No.
And you know how baseball is. They don't let a damn thing go away. When it's epic, they will call you the epic lost Tigers for the life.
We'll be in 2065, and they'll talk about that epic 2025 venture that the Tigers went through.
Exactly. Yeah. They will talk about this till the day they die. And you guys will go into the Hall of Fame. Scuba will go into the Hall of Fame. He was on that epic losing Tiger team.
Right.
Before he got traded to the Athletics for $10-year $1 billion.
Exactly.
Because we're going to let him go, and we're going to regret this in about 8 months.
Well, yeah. Look, where's the check? I want to know two things. Where's the check for Scuba? And are you prepared? Are you prepared for what happens in Boston? Because if you don't, if you let it go, you're gonna be the epic losing Tiger team.
I just thought of something as a cross reference. Let's go to the Lions 0-16 year. Okay, not too long ago, right?
I remember that.
0-16. 0-16, right?
Yeah.
But what was the issue? The issue was general manager, head coach, upper echelon issues.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know it's two different sports. I know it's like I said, it's two different sports, but that's an upper echelon collapse that trickled down. Something is sour in that organization. Something is sour.
I mean, is it Chris Ilitch? Is it Chris Ilitch?
He's going through a divorce right now.
That's what I'm saying. Is it Chris Ilitch? He should have walked away. Maybe he should have walked away and said, "You guys handle this for me because I ain't thinking straight. You guys make a decision. I ain't thinking straight. I don't know what I should be doing."
Something is sour. And it may come out later. Something is sour. I firmly believe that something is sour somewhere.
I mean, they trying to do everything. They went and got a bunch of pitchers. How'd that work out? I'm just saying.
Right.
We did no hitters. We did no bats. I mean, they thought we had bats, and we did go silent with the bats too. We did. The guys that we thought that were there. Hey, I'm gonna call out Green. Green, he went silent. I mean, we're not getting the hits that we used to get, and you shouldn't, because they know the way you play now. You're playing the guys you're used to playing. You ain't playing the NL. You're not playing the National League no more. You back in the AL. They know you. They got film on you. They know about you.
The more I think about it, something is sour. Something stinks.
Hey.
Something stinks.
Is it in the locker room or is it in upstairs?
That's the $64,000 question. But something stinks. I firmly believe, I'm just applying my.
I got you. I want you to. That's why
my former executive, something sour, and it just came to me. This reminds me of the 0-16 Lions season, and there was a lot sour going on in that building upstairs.
No, you ain't lying there.
So something sour somewhere, man. Yeah, and you know what? The players didn't care enough to try to fix it either.
Well, they didn't try. As I said, this organization should have rewarded some of these players. They needed to reward some of these players with some new contracts. They needed to bring some new people in here, that guys that have lineage to championships. And you don't have anybody.
That's another comparison then. We laughed about it a minute ago. That's a Jerry Jones comparison. Look at what he did not do, and look at what happened to that organization. Where is that organization? Something stinks.
The only thing I'll say they did do is bring a world championship manager here, and he knows how to manage this team. He's not getting what he needs. You know what? I'm protecting AJ because I think AJ has done a great job. He's got to juggle this right now. He's juggling. The man, I don't mean to call him, but he's a clown. He's a clown. He got to juggle the whole time. Think about it.
So, with that being said, I go back to my aforementioned thoughts. It stinks enough for Finch to go, man. How do I handle this battle? Because I might just wipe my hands and let it collapse.
I mean, I wouldn't get rid of him.
Now, obviously, there's not enough to care on somebody's behalf, players, management, or something, to try to turn that thing around. They just let it continue to collapse.
Well, I can't blame the players yet, Sweet. I can't blame the players. They don't know no better. They had fun last year. They were the fun bunch. That was the fun bunch going in there. Remember, they was letting relievers come in and throw one inning. They were doing, Derek, right? They were doing all kinds of stuff, right?
Pitching chaos.
It was great.
Yeah, good pitching chaos.
It was great stuff. You were enjoying it.
If you got the same guys, what's the difference?
I think their innocence got them by last year.
Yeah.
They
were innocent.
That's a good point. That could be.
They were innocent. Now they know better. They know what they was doing. They were cruising. Like you said, they were cruising, and they didn't know. They're not old enough to say, all right, we need to cradle some of this. Let's box some of this up because we're going to need this towards the end of the season. They didn't know better. They were just running. You remember? It's the tortoise in the hare. The tortoise in the hare running. The tortoise caught up.
You ever see like in the quarter mile track, man? The guy takes off the first 200 yards he leading. On that last corner, he's like, "Oh damn, this is a 400-yard."
Exactly.
Maybe that's it.
We came out running. We came out sprinting. We were looking good too, boy.
Yeah.
Good. Look at it. He got a good stride too. He had a good stride, and all of a sudden.
Stride.
Now to get
that second curve. He got on that second curve. He locking up.
Hey, something on his back. Something jumped on his back.
That's good old track talk right there, boy. Good old track talk.
I mean, good God. I don't know what happened, but hey, y'all, but if you guys believe, you better start believing now. You got to get, rally caps on. Put your rally caps on because we got to get ready. They got 4 games left, right?
Okay. Yeah, 4. One tonight, 6:40 first pitch in Cleveland, which they're starting actually is the rookie. What is it, Melton?
Yeah,
Troy Melton is on the mound tonight. So,
so maybe his youth.
Are they telling us something? Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe his youth will show up and he won't realize
to show up. You want him to be an old young man. You don't want the youth to show up because if the youth show up, there's gonna be home runs all over the park.
Yeah. Well, I mean, young enough to where he's ignorant enough to just go balls out and try his best to win this thing. You know, I don't know, but something stinks. Something stinks.
We need to go to a break. We come back. Hey, we talk about different things. We're gonna uplift you now. Now we didn't put you in the doldrums and you feeling bad about yourself. And what have I done for the season for the Tigers? We're gonna try to uplift you a little bit on the other side. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
All clear.
So, are you watching baseball or football tonight?
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Derek Laughlin in for the Ms. Man, and you got the Big Sweet, Big Larry Lee. We call him Big Sweet. You know how it is.
Lovely day.
So, Larry, I'm going to turn into this Big Ten guy. I haven't been the Big Ten guy in a long time, and I just want you to know. There's big games all over the place now. Michigan's off, so we might as well talk about the Big Ten. So the Big Ten and the Big Ten, the major games are the Happy Valley game, which is Penn State versus Oregon, a revisit of the Big Ten championship game last year. But and Drew Allen. Now, if this happens, it could set a stage for Penn State to make a run. If they beat Oregon, they make a run all the way to Ohio State. And then that brings that game, it becomes epic. It becomes epic because Ohio State, Ohio State's the number one team in the country. And I'm sure if they beat Oregon, they're going to be the number 2 team until they get to Ohio State, until they get to Columbus.
Yeah.
So that being said, do you see a potential of a 3-year deal? I mean, you had Michigan win the first one. You had Ohio State follow up last year. There's a potential. Now, I know there's other conferences that got other teams. Now, I'm not crazy, but we found sucker season is early now, so we know that Clemson. That's a sucker bet. You know that was. Everybody said you knew it was sucker bet. He wasn't involved in the NIL. He didn't like to do the trades or anything like that. I mean, go to the portal and get somebody when he needed somebody. You know what I'm saying? He won't pay no players. I mean, that's what he gets, right? That's shame on him. Shame on him.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is Penn State, I heard they got their act together. They made they had 3 NIL collectives, made them all merged. They came together. They got as they say, they got their money right. You know what I'm saying?
That's the key to the game these days, man. So if they got their money right, I think Saturday's going to be a heck because Oregon's money is right.
The money is right, but I'm gonna say this: Nike didn't have to get their money right. Excuse me. That was a Freudian slip. I'm sorry. Oregon didn't have to worry about getting their money right. Nike was there.
Right. So, but I always think about intangibles.
Sure.
And the intangible for Penn State is that coach.
Yeah.
He has not won the big one, man. I can't. Do you
blame the coach or do you blame the players? I mean, look, I get it. Did you have the right players in the right spot? Look, I'm going to say this. It's traditionally, and I only learned this from Michigan. Michigan returned a whole lot of people on their defense, and they returned their quarterback. That's the thing, and a good portion of their offensive line. They lost the center, but they replaced that offensive line, that center, and that's
Penn
what
State returned their quarterback, right?
They did. Penn State returned their quarterback. They were a large percentage of their offensive line. They got two running backs, 2,000-yard rushing running backs. I mean, they went into the portal and got themselves some receivers. I'm telling grade A receivers.
Yeah, but they're still coached by the same guy. They're all coached by the same guy.
That I get it.
So this game means more to the coach,
Franklin. James Franklin. Yeah.
Than it basically.
It's Dan Lanning. It's Dan Lanning. That's the Oregon coach versus James Franklin. Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to match that up. Everybody's going to say that. Now they can match the kids up, and you know how the kids are going to play. I can tell you this: Oregon ain't coming in there like they scared. Wait a minute. They played Penn State last year. They played them in the Big Ten championship game. Well, so they know what Penn State's like. They played against this same team.
Well, you've seen it. I haven't dealing with the whiteout. That's another intangible.
But like I said, I had a chance to go out and see an Oregon game versus Michigan too, and that was like. I'm not going to say it's not just like. I told you that Penn State is something else.
Yeah,
and they're going to be crazy there at nighttime. At nighttime, it comes out. It's spike time. I mean, they get wild. And that stadium, the ground shakes when they're going crazy. They're going to yes.
There could be a seismic shift in the Big Ten if, let's say, Penn State beats Oregon.
Yeah.
And then Ohio State goes out there and loses to Washington.
Oh my goodness. Dare you say that? Dare you say that? How dare you say that? Woo.
Woo. This is a big weekend, man.
It's huge. It's huge.
And it's early.
Man, I mean, is it though? It's
still only game 4.
Now, I'm gonna add something to this because a lot of people you said it was early yet. So is it wrong? Because in the SEC, you got Alabama, Georgia.
Right.
You got that big game going on.
That big game, yeah.
And you got it at the same time as Penn State, Oregon.
Yeah.
So does college football, and I'm just going to add this caveat, does college football needs to bring together and have a commissioner? And maybe somebody tells them, hey, start this game at 8:30 and play this game at 7:30. You know what I'm saying? Just moving things around. Because these are big games that everybody wants to see. I mean, if you ain't got split screen, you ain't seeing it. Because if you turn to one game, the other thing's going to go crazy on the other game, right? It always happens that way.
With that being said, in this day and time, yes. My answer would be yes. We do need a commissioner because it's just like professional sports and all other phases.
Professional sports. I you know what? Like I said, somebody's gonna get smart and say, hey, they turn. I can't leave. I can't freely leave and go to another school. I can't transfer because this NCAA body decided that they didn't want another transfer. Sue them so I can move again. That's all that's going to happen. Yeah, you know it as well as I do. That's all. We're gonna get people to move freely again because any coach can move freely if they wanted to, right?
Right. You're right. And they do.
Why not let the kid move? You paying the coach $10 million. You paying this kid, baby. You may be paying him a million. You may be paying him $1 million, or you paying him 100,000. One or the other. But he wants to freely move, just like that coach. Yeah,
that's true. That is true. You're on to something, Jamie.
I've been thinking about this, Big Sweet, because they didn't have representation of those kids. And they got behind those closed doors in Indianapolis and start tinkering. We gonna stop this. We ain't gonna have nobody moving around all the time. I don't care if it makes sense or not. You already gave these kids an option. They could transfer 3 times if they wanted to. 3 times.
Don't tell nobody. Maybe you and I can start a collegiate union.
Don't tell nobody that. Don't say the U word.
Don't tell nobody, but maybe you and I could start a collegiate union, man.
I'm just saying. It makes sense.
So we'll have a collective bargaining agreement for college.
They need a collective bargaining. They need to be represented. They were not in those meeting rooms. They did not take that to those young men because you remember those, you can call them, our student athletes are the players out there. They're the ones representing that university. So when you move, when they don't have freedom of movement, you took it from them. You restricted them. And they're going to fight and say, no, we didn't. We just moved one zone that they can't use. They can't do this. That's all they're going to say. You know that as well as I do.
I know there's an attorney somewhere thinking out what we're thinking out loud.
I mean, it makes sense. Hey, once you let the genie out the bottle, damn it, she gonna stay out anyway. I'm just telling you. You don't let the genie out the bottle like that. They moved 3 times. 3 times they could move. Now you want to cut it down to 2 because it's inconveniencing you. Because we got to get them in and we got to get them up to speed and all. It's your job to do that. That's why you're getting paid $10 million, coach. That's why you can sell these kids every time. You can sell them to the TVs and the ads and everything like that. But we gave them the NIL. It ain't enough. You still making hundreds of millions of dollars over there. Those kids are getting what you giving them. You giving them $20 million, thinking that's good gravy.
Right. I agree with you, Jamie. Then it's coming. Also, a cap is coming eventually.
It's got to be. If you don't, you can ruin. You can bankrupt those universities, at least the athletic departments, or you're going to have to start cutting sports. Think about that. Yeah. If you don't make a certain number in revenue, we can't use you. I'm just saying.
That's something to think about, man. Because I tell you, every school can't compete dollar-wise. And so that's going to be a big old gap. It's going to create a big old gap.
Well, like you said, if you're going to have Major League Baseball, if you keep letting these schools that get all this money and the schools that don't get a lot of money, and you're just going to be a small school then again, right?
Yeah, right.
And the big schools are going to eat them up. I mean, best players go to the guys that can pay them. That's just
sign of the time. Sign of the times.
I'm not trying to tell anybody what they don't know, but people don't know. You keep hearing that, hey, the NCAA has instituted this and well, wait a minute. What they do in instituting something and not checking with their employees. I don't care what you want to call them. You don't have to call them your employees, but they are the ones that moved the line. They moved the ticket. They make you watch TV. You're interested in these so-called athletes.
Get ready. Here it comes.
I'm just
collective
saying.
Bargaining in college. It's coming.
It either has to come or you need to make a decision on how you want to do this with these young people.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking, it's basketball too, women and men's basketball. Yeah. You're going to have to start really talking to the kids, asking them what they believe, what they want to do. You can't just rule with an iron hand anymore.
That's
not how things happen. That's not how things are done.
And that's the lesson the NFL had to learn as well. Because what's going on is, your top 3 or 4 players, they're not your employees.
No.
They are your business partners.
Exactly.
So, because of their salaries and what they command. So you need to that's why that was a hard lesson for NFL owners to learn, is how to, some of them knew it and some of them, it's easier said, it could do it easily. But you go to your players, your business partners, and make some of the decisions with them. And, back in our day, they said jump, we said how high, but this is a different day and time because of the monies that you're paying these top players in your organization. So college, the same dust has to trickle down to college. They're just in the infancy stage of it, but it's coming. It is coming.
Yeah, it's coming. I thought about, that made me think about, just and I was trying to figure out, what is the NCAA trying to do? And it made, it does make sense, but you didn't check with the players.
Right.
You didn't check with the players' representation. You didn't check. We don't have to check. We're the NCAA. No. That's over with. What you do, that's over with. No, you agreed to something, a letter. You already agreed that the players that have involvement would have say. You didn't already broke the rule. They already broke the rule.
Yep. So
they rules and they're not checking with the employees. I'm sorry. Those people are the people that everybody wants to see. Not you. Not you, NCAA. True. They don't believe in you.
So some attorney somewhere, or attorneys plural, are going to come together, and there will be a collective bargaining.
Nobody had representation. Nobody knew about it. I mean, look, you read about things like this, and they got it through. They had a vote, and everybody voted on it, and everybody was agreeing, and coaches were thumbs up because all you did was help them out. Right. They didn't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Right. They don't have to lose their players during this period and different things. The worry of losing their players, that's the problem.
Right.
Because if it don't work here, they're going to jump in the transfer portal. You know it.
Exactly.
That's what they do. I'm sorry.
So today's football as a coach is not per se all X's and O's.
No, it's recruiting. It's keeping the players that you got, the ones you want to keep, and it's out recruiting.
But it's also management, because now you got to divide up dollars. You got to and
that's why you got a GM. That's why they got a GM. Exactly. That's exactly. I mean, sweet. See, here's the thing. They playing games. They think. Oh, we have that control. We have the control of that. No, that's not. No, that's not part of the deal. You don't have that control. You need to go and ask your employees. They're not our employees, though. Well, they something, because you revenue sharing with somebody. You giving somebody some money. And it sounds like 75% of them are football players. So you need to go to that 75% and talk to them.
What, man, everyone knows I'm more of a pro guy than a collegiate guy. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, remember, you only went through one, but I went through two strikes, in the NFL, the 82 strike and the 87 strike. And now look at what has transpired for these guys today versus what we struck for back in the day. So that day is coming for college too. Those players, I think eventually we're gonna see some player strikes coming up.
Okay,
and that kind of work. Huh?
No, I'm just gonna say this. Look, they're gonna have to go to court, and they're gonna have to show why they did what they needed to do. Yep. And they'll say it's all about education and everything like that. This ain't about education.
It's beyond that now.
It is. I mean, that's what it is. They're going to say we're trying to help these student athletes. That's exactly what they're going to say. We're trying to help these student. No, you're trying to help yourself. That's exactly what it is.
But just like us, we were employees, man. We were getting peanuts back in the day compared to what the owners were making. And it looks that way now, collegiately, because it's early, but they're gonna put a cap on it. They're gonna have to put some kind of rules and regulations on the college NC2AA system, period. Not only a cap, but also rules and regulations. And therefore, to be honest and fair, there's gonna have to be some type of union, some type of collective bargaining agreement. Now, I know the universities don't want to hear us say that, but it's coming. It's coming.
No, you're right. I'm just amazed how quick they moved, and they did it so quick. It was like, wow, you guys got that done pretty quick. But I'm looking at it going, did you run that by anybody?
No.
Y'all ain't run that by the kids.
Nope.
I mean, you had to think about it. I mean, and look, they think they're justifying it by, well, it's helping them out, and we're keeping the kids together, and it's difficult for our university to keep them eligible and all. It's going to be all of that. It'll be all of that. But you were able to do it. You were able to do it. You got them all eligible. You got them all in school. They were able to play for you in different colleges. So why can't you streamline it? That's all you need to say. Why don't you streamline it?
Let's let's start an old man's reparations department. me and you, man. Let's start a pre 75 old school reparations department. And we're like the O'Bannon brothers. We're the ones that like a Reggie White, a pioneer in the industry.
No, that would be cool.
Let's try it, man. Hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's the sign of the times today.
Nah, you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Hey, man, reparations. You were a hell of a college player. I was a hell of a college player, 4-year starter. Let's take reparations back to at least 1980. That way, I'm good for a year. I'm good for at least a year on that one.
That'd be cool. We need to go to a break. We got Angelique Shingales coming on the other side of the glass. That's my boy, Sweet
home girl.
Oh, I got to send you the picture. She sent a picture to you, and I forgot to send it to you. I'm sorry. She's gonna be mad if I don't send that to you. Anyway, right. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, my man Derek Laughlin in for the Ms. Man. And you're looking at the world's best center in the history of pro and college football. Larry Lee. We call him Big Street.
Wow.
And
Wow.
joining us, I had to give you that. Hold on. And joining us, the angel of the big house, a writer for the Detroit News, sports area, Angelique Shingales.
My homegirl.
That's right. That's the only reason I do these now on Thursdays. I don't know what Dr. Jamie.
What's up, homegirl?
I had Valentino's pizza after the game.
Give us the verdict.
It was really good. It was really good, and it was really nice that they had it in the press box for us, and it was delicious.
Now, you know, Jamie, if it wasn't legit, they would not have it in the Nebraska press box.
Angelique,
right.
what do they serve in the Michigan press box?
I don't really care for it.
Thank you, Angelique.
You know, actually last week, I believe Chad Shepard arranged for pizza. So there was pizza after the CMU game. I forget which game it was.
It wasn't Valentino's.
It wasn't Valentino's. It was not. That was really good. I'd say it was had a good amount of sauce on it, which I like, a pizza with a little more sauce, and it was good.
I'm telling you now, Jamie, I first had it in 1977 as a recruit to the University of Nebraska. Here we are in 2025, and I have not changed my opinion about that pizza.
But it was not good enough to get you to commit to Nebraska.
No, Tom Osborne blew that one.
Wow. Tom Osborne. You blew it, Tom.
No, I did. I had an All-American from Dayton, Ohio, that was there. His name was Lawrence Cole, L.C. Cole. And he was the starting nose tackle, and I took a trip there and everything. But it was a great university, great trip, and everything. I'm just more of a big city kind of kid or at that time, big city kid. Than I would have pulled my hair out being in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, I'd be really curious what the recruiting trips were in the late 70s, even, mid 80s to what they are now, because I've got to believe they're way different. Don't you think, or not?
Oh yeah. I mean, I look at UCLA, a program that's ho-hum right now and everything. Mm-hmm. But if you were to take a recruiting trip to UCLA right now, those facilities are unbelievable. They got barbershops and grocery stores, and every locker has a lazy boy and a television. And I mean, the UCLA football building is second to none, and it's a losing program right now. I can't imagine what an Oregon or Ohio State or even Michigan's locker room compare on them trips. And besides all of that, though, I don't understand why UCLA is in the shape we're in, because you take a kid like Larry Lee from Dayton, Ohio, and show him Bel Air and Brentwood and Beverly Hills and the beach 10 minutes away and all of that. I mean, who wouldn't want to experience that? But it's all about money nowadays, though.
Mm-hmm. It really is, because UCLA should be up there. I know a lot of people say it's a basketball school, but look what's going on in Bloomington right now. So it
don't
should be
start.
Going on at UCLA.
Don't start that. I don't want to hear that.
Uh-oh. Why?
Look.
Why?
Wait a minute. Kurt Finetti, he gets lucky, and I'm not going to say that. He has a strong win against a team that Illinois. I mean, come on.
Illinois was ranked. We were kind of singing Illinois' praises earlier.
Definitely. And I kind of agree with you. I kind of wanted to not jump on the Cignetti bandwagon because it didn't feel real last year. He leaves his old school. James Madison takes all his experienced players and,
Right.
and really got brought in a lot of experience from the portal. Like it was 40 some guys who had started wherever they were before. So, you know, and I still think back to last season that Michigan should have won that game.
Michigan should have won that game if we had.
To this day, I'll never understand why Ben Hall was in and not Kalel. And, you know, there were a couple other decisions in that game that I just don't understand, because that should have been Michigan's game. And it's funny that you never hear Signetti talk about that game. Like he won't. He
won't talk about the games where he had to compete. He won't talk about the Ohio State game. He won't talk about the Michigan game because he got beat up front. He got beat.
Yeah.
I
was disappointed. I thought Illinois, you know, I think this means Illinois is probably not what everybody thought it was.
Well,
but,
we're going to see against USC. We'll see against USC. We'll see with that. We get a chance.
That's true.
So, Angelique, by this being Michigan's bye week, what do you think they should be concentrating on right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And I think that, you know, I don't know how you coach receivers not to drop the ball, but I think that is something.
You make them carry the damn ball around campus like I had to.
Does that really work?
Yes.
I mean, does that work?
You're embarrassed. You don't see it's the mental effect. He made you carry the ball and everybody knew. Yeah. And then he made players, if you bring me back a ball, I'll give you a free pizza. And they all swatted at the ball. They stole the ball from me half the time.
Oh, poor Jamie. Let me get the little violin out for you.
Wow. Wait a minute. You remember that was an 18-year-old guy who had to put up with that, who had to get up in the morning and run that mile and a half every morning when he lost that ball. I only did it twice, though.
But you learned something from
I did.
So
I learned something. Yeah. It did. I knew how to catch the ball. I knew how to hold on to the ball.
You know, the other thing, they got to work on their punt returns. I mean, it's the punting. It's just they have Zavada's been very good.
Special teams.
Yeah, special teams. Zavada's found his way again. He missed those 2 kicks, and now it looks like he's back. And he talked about it Tuesday night, saying, you know, he's only human. You make misses and you have misses, but it's been sort of consistent. An issue, I think, with special teams, and
we were so good with special teams. We need to focus on special teams. Sharon, I'm going to say this, Angelique. Before he left, I got to say this, and let's just see if you agree with me. Before he left, he got that offensive line. He got their minds right, and those 2 guards and Crippen, they're opening up holes now. They did it they did it against Central Michigan. I guess, it's Central Michigan. Nobody gave these kids respect. But when they were in Lincoln, they was opening holes too again.
Yeah, something did happen, and you know, I think this is a position Sharon played. It's a position he coached very well at Michigan. They won 2 of the Joe Moore Awards. Mm-hmm. And we're semifinalists, and I think he injected them with something, because he did spend some time with them that week of the Central game before he had to get away from the team as part of his suspension, and it has made a difference. But it's also different players. I mean, now Hadi's out right now. Norton was out, and you bring in 2, you know, Afobe and I don't know if I say Jake G's last name correctly, and they've both played pretty well,
and I don't know why you would take them out. I'm just saying.
I agree,
Angelique.
I agree.
You know as well as I do. We're gonna find one, and it's gonna fit, and I stay with them. And they're young, and you keep them going. You can. These guys are willing to listen. These guys are willing to take in the education that you're willing to give them. It seems like they were climbing. You could see them climb. Yeah. They double down and then climb up to the linebacker. Half of them tried to get to the safety.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because, I mean, Gio's a captain and he's been a starter. So
he can still be a captain. He can still be a captain. He can still be a leader. And who says he's not playing? There's always rotation.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, I know. I remember Harbaugh a few years ago said, he made some comment like, well, maybe we'll start platooning at offensive line, you know, rotating like they do on the defensive line, which I guess this doesn't make sense, but maybe you do rotate a little bit more and get a fresh a fresh guard in there, a fresh tackle, whatever it is you need to do. But that doesn't seem like it's really cohesive for offensive line. But you're right. But I think El Hadi's going to be out for a little while.
Mhm.
So I mean, I thought that was a 4 to 6 week injury kind of thing. So this is a chance for both of those guys to really stake a claim. And I think Sharon was sort of hinting at that Monday, that just because you've been a starter doesn't mean anything,
Right.
and you got to keep earning it.
You got to
life, right?
look. It's the Jim Harbaugh thing. You every day you put pads on, you earn your job. You earn your job. Every day you go out and practice, every day you go out and play football, you earn your position.
How about this?
Right.
I'm gonna take it now. This is the OOOG talking right now. You remember back in the day, the Dallas Cowboys had the alternating guards where the guards would bring in the play.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
The guards, they would switch guards, and the guard would bring in the play from the sideline, that kind of thing. History repeats itself, maybe.
I know that.
Does that work though? I mean, with an offensive line, you always hear you got to have the starting five, and they got to be cohesive.
No, it's really starting 7 or 9. I mean, Sharon knows that. He had guys that could start just in case you had somebody who got hurt. You can replace. You got to have replacement parts. This is a brutal season, and guys are going to get bumps and bruises all the time. So you got to have guys.
How many O-line does college carry? See, I'm a pro guy. I know most teams carry 8 or 9. Do they carry more than? I mean, there's more than that on the roster.
Yeah, there's more than that.
Realistically, only 8 or 9 of them are going to get a chance to get in the game, right?
Right.
Okay, so
to the point where maybe you bring in an offensive lineman who's better on a third and short situation. I mean, do you do that? I don't know.
I mean, if he shows that he can get the yard, look, if you got a knack for getting the first down, hell yeah, I put him in. Get in there and do your thing.
Yeah, or it could be like I was like a sixth man in basketball. I played center, guard, both guards, H-back, that kind of. I never really played much tackle, but you got to have a little versatility. And the pro game might be different only because you only get to carry so many, and if you have injuries, somebody's got to play maybe somewhere out of line, or or you got to switch out. It might be a little different than college, but I would like my offensive linemen to also be able to play more than one position.
Mm-hmm. Which is better for these guys in terms of being NFL potential draft picks. They've got to show that versatility.
Exactly. And the other thing, I remember coming out of college, my college O-line coach said to me, which turned out to be true, learn how to snap the ball. I don't care if you're first team, second team, third team, whatever. Learn how to snap the ball, because that might be a difference in you making a team or staying on a team. And sure enough, it was, because I was like I said, I was that Swiss Army knife. I played both guards, I played center, and I could snap punts and field goals. And that separated me from the other guys. So, that's just the O-line guy, OG O-line guy in me speaking right now. So be versatile. Be versatile.
Angelique, I don't want to point the obvious out, but that running back duel is coming together real right and nice, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. No, I mean, Haynes is looking. I think he's been consistent. He's looked really good from the first game, and I thought Jordan Marshall looked really good this last game, and I know he had the big run, but that 1 8-yard run that he had where it looked like he was down and then he just kept going, I thought that was really important. I thought that was important for him, and because as the Big Ten season you get deeper into it, you're going to need those kind of runs.
Yeah.
And everybody wants the home run, of course, but I still, I like to see these kind of grinded out gains, and I thought that's what he showed, and he's very physical, and I think that they're very, very complimentary.
So, again, you're listening to Angelique Shingales from the Detroit News. Angelique, talk about Biff's interim head coaching job? How did he do? Give me a grade.
Oh, I thought he did. I mean, he held it together. He didn't have to do too much. I think everybody will point to the time management, the clock management before the Hail Mary,
Right.
as that was an issue. And I asked Sharon about it Monday. I said, "What were you thinking when you watched that sequence that led to the Hail Mary?" And he just said no comment, and he was sort of laughing and said he was going to keep it to himself. So there were that kind of issue here and there, but I thought he held it all together. And he's just he's very much a guy who just supports the players. He's always instilling confidence, and I think that's a different style. Not that Sharon doesn't do that. I'm not saying that, but that's his thing. That's Biff's thing. That he embraces everybody and encourages them, and he has a very soft voice and a very nurturing kind of demeanor about him. And I think that the players really like him and respect him, and he did. It was the right decision. I mean, you have Chip Lindsey, who's new to Michigan as
Right.
the offensive coordinator and learning the offense and trying to add his wrinkles. So it was the right decision rather than putting that on his plate or even Wink Martindale's plate. So I thought overall, I don't know what grade I'd give him. I guess a B.
Okay. I got to ask you a question because everybody's
Mm-hmm.
asked me this question, and I'm like, I don't work at Michigan, but there was a familiar coach that was always to the side of Biff, and he was there, and everybody saw him, and everybody kept asking me why was he next to Biff all the time. I'm like, I don't know, but he had the coach I'm talking about.
I didn't see the coach. I just kept noticing he was wearing a corded headset. So there was always this young guy attached to him.
No, I'm talking about the old running back coach that was right.
I thought that was Fred.
Yes,
yeah, I saw
yes.
Fred around a lot.
He was around him all the time, and everybody kept asking me, "Do you know why Fred was with him all the time?"
I don't know why Fred was. I will have to call him and ask him, why were you around Biff all the time? But Fred's always around,
Yeah, but he was I think everybody saw him. I'm like, good God. I had like 50 people call and texting me, calling me. Why's Fred next to Biff Poggi all the time? I'm like, maybe he's interpreting for him. I don't know.
That might have been it. But, it is nice that Fred's still around the program, and the players, the running backs always bring him up.
They love
he's
him.
been very
Yeah.
important. They do. They do love him. And, I think it's similar to Biff in that role that he's encouraged them, but also tells it like it is.
He
to
does.
them. And
Fred don't
I
joke
think that's
around.
something they appreciate.
Right.
Right.
I tell
I think
you,
Larry was
not
gonna say something.
not very familiar with Biff, but I now that I saw the game and observed everything, and I looked at all the intangibles, he was the right guy for that job.
Mhm.
He was the right guy to be the interim guy, and I just liked his demeanor. I liked the way he interacted with old Coach Saban and all that. You could tell he was an old veteran. And I like that. That was a good move.
I
Good
could
move.
tell he was a rich man.
They're
They're talking about
Rolls-Royce.
Lamborghinis. They talk about buying Lamborghinis.
He also talked about a Cuban cigar and ice cream.
He's driving around in a white Rolls Royce.
I know.
I know. But remember, Saban said he backed out of the deal, so maybe his money wasn't. He said he had alligator arms, so his money might not have been as long as we think it is.
Oh my God, that was pretty funny. That was
Yeah, it was. That was a good interaction. I love those kind of interactions, and then Saban tried to jam him up, and he said, "Well, I learned it from you, my man." So that was all. That was all good. That was good for college football, and good for Biff, good for the University of Michigan, the whole nine. Now another thing, in the NFL, you got Sonics and Knuckles. We're gonna have to give those two backs some kind of nickname.
right.
I don't know what
People are trying to use like the Justice and the Marshal.
You just got to go with Law and Order.
Law and Aha, that's a good one. Law and
Law
Order.
and Order. I mean, that's just what I mean. It's got the whole justice thing in it, so you just call it Law and Order.
Law and Order. I like that.
There, Jamie. That's pretty good.
Chalk up one for Jamie. Ding, 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 ding.
That would be my son. That would be my son CJ saying Law and Order, Daddy.
Like, it's so obvious.
It is
Dad. Come on.
obvious. he
So
just
from
likes
that,
that. He just likes that mallet hitting the thing.
oh yeah.
And he goes, "What is this?" And I say, "It's Law and Order." He goes, "Law and Order."
So dare I say on the Big 1050, the new running back nickname at Michigan is Law and Order.
Yeah.
Okay. WTKA, initiated by Jamie Morris.
Just saying. I mean, we did it. Angelique, did you think you were ever going to see? I mean, they kind of had it. I don't want to say kind of. No, they had a Penn State kind of thing going when they were driving that ball, just leaking that clock. I'm gonna say this, Angelique, because you know me and you know how I feel. If I was that young man and I had the ball on the outskirts, I would have ran a little further down the field and probably taken a knee down there closer to the goal line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Definitely.
he did do the right thing. Kept that clock going.
Yes, exactly. And that was quite the drive. Was it over eight minutes?
Yes.
Something 8:30. Yeah, that was exactly what you wanted to see. And some really nice third down conversions. And Bryce was, that's the other thing. I mean, the first 4 games, I think you've got to give Bryce a really good grade too. Because
Are you
I
happy
think,
with the first 4 games where they're at and everything with this bye week and everything? I mean, 3
Well, I thought
3
they'd
and
be
1
2
is
and 2.
it's nothing to sneeze at, but I'm just saying they're not undefeated. But hey, Bryce Underwood's done well. He's learning. They released the hounds. Everybody who was barking, from Big Sweet to everybody else. I mean, good God.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they'd be 2 and 2. I mean, I thought they were going to lose that game in Nebraska. So, yeah, I mean, I think 3 and 1's a really nice place to be right now, going into the Big Ten. So they're 1-0 in the Big Ten. That's
right.
The most important thing. And Bryce, he's had a fumble, he's had an interception, and his numbers were just, they were okay last week. But if there were a couple more of those drops were catches, he would have had much more, the kind of numbers you expect him to have. And that's just, to me, that's the biggest thing to clean up is getting on. I don't know if it's.
Do we have some wide receivers? Do we have younger wide receivers that we're trying to hold their freshman year or something like that?
I don't know.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying. I mean,
I know what you're saying, but I mean, at this point, I think they've got to go to the portal and get some experienced guys. I mean, they brought McCulley in, and he made that really great catch, but he was out of bounds. So,
he did.
I think they need to, instead of developing. And I'm big on, like, you got to bring guys in and develop them. But I think at this point, they need the quick fix at receiver, and they need to bring in some guys.
Yeah, they do. So, You're right.
And a couple linemen, too. And it's just a couple linemen going forward. But that's here nor there right now. But just but McCulley's definitely got the ability. Samaj has the ability, too. He's got to hang on to the ball. And if they'll get Marlon Klein more involved again, and that'll be a big difference, too.
Angelique, you're walking in your football 101 class, and this question comes up. As a defensive back at the right before the end of a play or end of a half or a quarter, and there's a Hail Mary, what do you do as a defensive back?
She knows.
I've seen a few of these games. I remember 1994 vividly.
Exactly.
And
tell them what you do, Angelique. What do you do?
I mean, as I recall, you bat the ball down.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
That's my homegirl. Yes. Bat it down. Knock it down.
I remember it because it was that Monday after that Colorado game in 1994, and Gary Moeller was walking around in the Monday thing. I think maybe I was playing Chuck Winters. He gave each of us an assignment, and, what we were supposed to do. And, that was he just had so much time. I knew he was going to catch it. I just the fact that he even got to have that play was, I just thought, well, they're going to make it now. So yeah, that was tough.
Knock it down.
Do you think the game would have been different had they went in and was able to knock it down and go in with a 7-point lead?
Yeah, I mean, I think that at that point now, Nebraska has a lot of momentum and confidence. I think going into halftime, but
Right.
I mean, Michigan came out looked pretty good. I think wasn't the next play that Justice the big touchdown run. I'm getting
Yep.
my sequences all confused, but
You're right.
but you just don't want to see that kind of letdown. And there were a couple other things. The penalty on Brandon Hillman, and
That's
so you gotta
emotions,
get those things
Angelique.
cleaned up.
That's
Yeah, that
emotions,
is.
and I get it. And I agree with Sharon. That's a private thing that he'll take care of, and I get it. This kid was very emotional. For some reason, he did that to that bench. For some reason, he had been picked on. I know they came
Yeah.
at him a couple times, so he just signaled to them like, "I got you this time,"
Yeah, but you do have to get that cleaned up. You can't afford that against
No,
Ohio
you
State
can't.
or
You can't.
or at USC. Someplace where it's going to be really important to be on your P's and Q's. So that's just that's here nor there either. I mean, that's something they'll clean up. And but yeah, I think they are in a good place. Going back to your question, I mean, I think that this is they feel really good about themselves, and I think they like the way this schedule is lining up for them. Although I still think USC is going to be a tough game
Wow.
on the road.
Okay.
I haven't said it, but I agree. I kind of agree with you, Angela.
Well, you don't like USC too. That says something.
No.
Well,
Angelique, his rivalry game. That's not even a rivalry game.
not even a rival.
No.
Not
They
not
love
this
each
year.
other. They party with each other. They go around town with each other. Angelique, I wouldn't be caught dead in the same room with a
So who
Buckeye.
else would be UCLA's rival?
That's right. Jamie, that was a different day and time, brother. We're cross-town rivals, not cross-state rivals. And you go to a campus party somewhere, you see those guys.
I don't go to Michigan State things either. I'm just letting you know. That's a cross-state rivalry. I'm just letting you know, bro.
I hear you loud and clear.
That right there, that's a rival.
I've always said that you cannot compare Ann Arbor, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, East Lansing, Michigan to Los Angeles, California.
You're right.
For a college student. College student.
You are right. I do.
Two different worlds.
Duly noted.
And back then you had LA was on fire. You had Saturday Night Fever. You had the Showtime Lakers. You had.
I'm just letting you know. You're taking away. You're telling these Michigan people that are listening to us that we really didn't take it seriously there.
No, y'all had State Street and we had Sunset Boulevard.
That's true. That's true.
Staying alive. Okay.
Y'all were the movie guys. I got it. Angelique, I hope you were entertained by us today. We really appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angelique. Thank you, homegirl.
I wish I brought some Valentino's pizza back. I'm sorry.
I know.
We've been eating it the whole time.
All right, you two have a great weekend.
That's Angelique.
Thank you too, Angelique.
Thanks, Angelique. We need to go to a break. We come back. We got Clayton Sayfie from the Wolverine.
All right.
On the other side, you're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, you got my man Derek Laughlin over on the other side of the glass, and we got the best center in the world right now. We got Big Sweet Larry Lee. And joining us is Clayton Sayfie from Wolverine.com. You can read about Clayton. He posts a lot, and he's got great pictures and different things. Clayton, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. Great to be back.
It's great to have you, dude. I missed you.
Hey, back at you.
You do all of those trips and everything. And how was Nebraska? How was it?
I actually didn't make it out to Nebraska. I had a wedding on Friday in Mackinac Island, the one place in the country where I couldn't get to Nebraska the next day. But I love that trip. I love that trip to Nebraska. It's one of the best.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't happy.
I'm sorry.
What makes it one of the best? What makes it one of the best?
Well, the people are super nice, I'd say, first and foremost. And then I like the stadium. I think it's getting a facelift. They're doing a major renovation, but it's kind of a cool stadium. The atmosphere is really, really cool. That night game in 2021 may have been the best environment on the road that I've seen. And, you know, it was electric with the AC/DC thunderstruck at the end of the third quarter. It was a close game. Hassan Haskins was hurdling dudes. And then in 2023, it was like 90 degrees, super windy. Michigan jumps out to a 14-0 lead. They start filing out at that point. So it wasn't as good of an environment, but Lincoln's a cool town, and I don't know. Just a good vibe out there. There's something about it. I don't know. The Great Plains.
Awesome.
Clayton, you know that Rob Moore went out there and played, and what did you think about that, Rob? I mean, he adds more to the team. I'm sure the defense rose up for him to see him on the field with them. So what did you think about that?
I thought it was great to see, and no major mistakes, right? I think for one to come back, and you wouldn't even necessarily have blamed him. He hadn't played in 621 days,
right,
since the national championship game. But the good thing is that I thought Michigan secondary could have been better. They had a lot of young guys out there, but it's not like Rod Moore made a major mistake. He had a tackle. Most importantly, got his feet wet, played the 21 snaps as you mentioned, and then gets a bye week, sees how his body is going to be able to react to it. Sharon Moore said on Monday that he's feeling great. So that's a positive. Now he gets the bye. He's already had that game experience under his belt for this season. And you hope by the end of the year or in a few weeks that he's the Rod Moore that we're used to seeing, because that Rod Moore can make a massive impact on games. And Jamie, remember even in 2023, Rod was coming back from a knee injury. He kind of didn't play much in non-conference. And then he got out there in that game against Rutgers, missed a tackle that went for a touchdown, didn't look like himself. But by the end of the year, he makes maybe the biggest play in Michigan history,
right,
an interception to seal the Ohio State game. So if he can be at that level at some point this year, that is a huge, huge win, because he's an elite player at his best.
You're right. He's been working on that knee and working out beside that team all preseason, and now he's finally on the field. Had a positive reaction to being on the field. He didn't re-injured or even talk about it being sore or anything. So you're right. He's got nothing but positivity right now. So, and he gets this week off.
Yeah, little R&R, but also to just keep working, keep getting comfortable, cutting and moving around and that sort of thing, I think would be really important. And his leadership that he brings too is so big.
It is huge. And right now, I think this team, and you know what? Maybe it's because of Bryce, the influence on Bryce. I think this team is so young right now. Bryce is playing his butt off, and Clayton, I agree with you. You put it out there. I mean, he's a generational player, and he's done some incredible things so far, and he's even doing better things because he's using his legs now.
Yeah, I think he's a great player right now. Like, he's not just great for a freshman. He's not just great, or going to be great down the road. I mean, he has a lot to improve and get better at and a ton to learn. But just think of the impact that he makes and the gear that he gives that offense. I mean, the throws that he makes, and they got to start coming down with some catches here. Too many drop balls, too many times where you feel like they're not adjusting properly to the football. But he can make, it's a cliche, but he can make every throw. He can make a lot of throws that other guys can't, and throw into tight windows. He's got the zip on it, all those things. I think he'll only get better in every area going forward. But his legs have added a huge dimension to the offense. Could have got in at the end of that long drive that they ended up kicking a field goal. But he had the quarterback draw earlier against Nebraska. Just a perfect call by offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey, I thought. They're in man coverage. All the defenders turned their back on the football, and he had so much green grass in front of him that I could have scored with the football there. And I'm not very fast. So yeah, I think that they are they're dialing up the right stuff. I think Chip Lindsey is learning what he can and can't do. And guess what? It's a lot of can when it comes to Bryce Underwood. But he's dialing up the right things. He's figuring out what this offense can do. So it's coming together, but they still got a long way to go.
Do you think, and Clay, again, we're talking to Clayton Sayfie from Wolverine.com. I mean, Clayton, do you think with the suspension of the suspension that the school and Sharon Moore decided to do, did that help Chip Lindsey in the fact that he got to do some things, experiment some things with Bryce and the offense? And it seemed like they had these two young guards, and I talk about these guards to everybody right now. They're playing great now, and the way they're doing it, these two running backs that we've talked about that could really move the ball and get the ball down the field, they're doing it. And you can see these two young guards are with Crippen are getting this done.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that we'll probably never know, but it is a fair question to ask, right? How much? Because I think people were disappointed with the game plan against Oklahoma and how conservative it was, and I understand it. It's a young quarterback going into a tough environment. That's a heck of a defense that Oklahoma has. They're proving that week in and week out. But at the same time, then he goes and serves his suspension. And the last two games, you're seeing Bryce Underwood run it more. You're seeing him throw it down the field more. The offense has looked more dynamic. I think, the way Biff Poggi talked about it, the way Sharon Moore spoke on Monday, that he was a big part of some of the changes that they made. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that's going to go away. They're going to continue to run Bryce Underwood, in my opinion, especially at the red zone, especially in some of those situations when, hey, this quarterback draw is going to be open. They're in man-to-man. We have to run this right now. And he goes 37 for a touchdown. So, who knows? Because Sharon is an offensive coach. He was the offensive coordinator before he was a head coach. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he's going to be involved. It would be, not a good thing if he wasn't involved because of everything that he's learned in his background as an offensive coach. So, but the offense is starting to make a lot of strides. And you mentioned it, the offensive line. I thought that was one of the more impressive aspects of the last couple of weeks, doing it with backup guards. And by the way, Jake Guarnera at right guard, he may have to be a starter going forward, even when Brady Norton is back available, because he's playing really good football. So you have some options there. You're seeing better push in the run game. The pass protection has been pretty solid as well. I just feel like they're learning what their players are doing well. They're talking about how much more they're running outside zone. And in the past, it wasn't a staple, but this group runs it well, and it fits with what Chip Lindsey wants to do. So they're running it more, right? You're doing what you're playing to the strengths of your players. So I think those are all positives for this offense.
Again, you're listening to Clayton Sayfie from Wolverine.com. When you look at this defense and this defensive line, because we dominated, and I talked about the offensive line, but we dominated that defensive line from the defensive line too. They got to, I know Raiola threw a lot of yards. I'm going to say that, but he saw a lot of that ground too, on 7 of them, I think.
Yeah. And TJ Metcalf the other night was talking about it and said, sometimes we're in coverage and we're kind of playing coverage. And we look back, we're like, why hasn't the ball come on? Oh, he's on the ground. And that's kind of how it felt, on some of those plays against Nebraska, where that D-line was just getting after him. 7 sacks, 36 total pressures on 24 dropbacks. out of, I think, 38 or something like that. So just an incredible numbers all across the board, no matter which way you slice it. And Jayshon Barham coming off the edge, Derek Moore, I thought looked really good. But you were also getting the push from the interior, Rayshawn Benny, Trey Pierce, Damon Payne, all those guys. And you were just rotating in waves of guys that were playing well. So that was huge to see from that defensive line. I think to get them a little bit of confidence going forward. I don't know that they played their best the first few weeks, but that was certainly one of the better performances. 7 sacks. It's only happened 3 times in Big Ten games over the last 5 years. 2021 Penn State, remember Ojabo and Hutch were unblockable.
Yeah, I remember that.
Game.
Wow.
And then 2022 Indiana, and I have to go back, but off memory, I think 3 or 4 of those sacks were in the fourth quarter. Remember, Michigan just kind of took over that game, and the pass rush was almost like a great closer in baseball where they just shut down Indiana late, 30-10 win in 2022 out in Bloomington. So, it was, no matter which way you look at it, that was a great performance. So that's the standard now, I think, for this D-line. Not 7 sacks, but being disruptive every single play and making an impact.
And you brought up Jayshon Barham. Is that where are you looking at him to play more edge than middle linebacker now?
I mean, I don't know how we could watch what we saw the last 2 weeks and not think that, right? I mean, it looks like his natural position, and I think that he's not only good coming off the edge, or maybe great, but what's the deepest position group on this team? It might be linebacker. So by nature of moving Jayshon Barham to the defensive line, you also are bringing in some of your other better players, maybe your top 11 players on this team. Cole Sullivan, I think he might be one of the best 11 players on the defense, and Jimmy Rolder, who's right in that conversation as well, next to Ernest Hausman. So you're playing to your strengths. Again, like we just talked about it with the offense, but what's your strength? Well, Jayshon Barham may be your best defender.
Right.
Let's put him in the best position to succeed. Secondarily, linebacker might be your strongest position group. You have a stud in Cole Sullivan, who only played 27 out of 75 snaps on defense last week. I think that number needs to be higher. But you're putting him in more. You're getting Jimmy Rolder on the field more. So you're playing to your strengths there. I love it.
Well, it just sounds like, the guys up front are getting it done, and it sounds like the linebackers are doing what they're supposed to do. The edge rushers are getting there. I mean, now there's so many edge rushers. How are we going to use them all?
It is crazy. Yeah, you got, I think like 5 or 6 of them had at least a pressure against Nebraska. So when they get in, they're making an impact. But yeah, you have Dominic Nichols. I mean, TJ Guy has been kind of forgotten about the last couple of weeks, but he had some pressures in there on Saturday as well. I know he didn't play against Central Michigan. Cameron Brandt, number 9, coming off the edge. So there are a lot of guys, and I guess one guy in TJ Guy. But you have Jayshon Barham, though, is probably the best out of all of them. Him and Derek Moore, 2 kids out of Baltimore St. Francis. That's probably your best duo. So I know you have other talented guys, but if Jayshon's the best and Derek Moore's the best, you got to get them out there.
Okay? So let me ask you a question: Are the Wolverines where you thought they would be this right now? Are they? Do you see them? Did you see them as 3-1? Did you see them as 2-2? Did you see them? I mean, maybe with a losing record. Where did you see them before the bye week?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think 3-1 or 4-0, and then I thought USC would be kind of another one of those coin toss, pick 'em type of game. So I think similar, but in terms of how they look and the way they're operating, I think it's pretty similar to what you could expect. I think Justice Haynes is better than I thought.
Yeah,
he was going to be. I think Bryce Underwood might be a little ahead, just in terms of. I love the decisions he makes out there. I think that even his missed throws are pretty safe, in terms of not being turnover worthy. So I love that. He might be ahead there. Maybe the defense got off to a slightly slower start than I thought. They got to figure out a little bit of the pass defense because, like you mentioned it earlier, Raiola threw for over 300 yards,
right?
Even though they had 7 sacks on him and all that pressure. So the secondary, I think, it's a little thin on depth and all that. But yeah, I would say that it's kind of coming together how you hoped. And Jamie, I'll change the narrative a little bit for a second. think of where they were a year ago at this time. And that was not the standard, so I'm not trying to make the point that everything should be compared to the way they were in September 25th of 2024. But think of the strides they've made. I think the O-line's ahead of where they were. Obviously, the quarterback is. I think, the wide receivers are better, and they need to get a lot better, though, still. And there are a couple other areas. Here's the thing. They don't win that game at Nebraska last September or last October. They were losing at Washington, Illinois, Indiana, winnable games that they could have had if they had an offense. But this team, think of the crucial drive in the fourth quarter. They chew up a bunch of clock, and they converted 3 third downs. They got all the way down to the goal line. They finished it off with a field goal to make it a 2-possession game. They're not doing that a year ago. So this team is much more of a contender than it was. They've made a lot of made up a lot of ground that they needed to. And, with the growth we saw, especially defensively, from the beginning of last year to the end, if we can see a decent amount of growth from beginning of this year to the end, considering they started at a much higher level, then you're looking at a team that could easily be in that playoff at the end of the year and could beat Ohio State at the Big House.
Wow.
You put it out there.
He is putting it out there, but I like
crazy?
it. I like
Is that
it.
crazy, Jamie?
No, I agree with you. Look, I inside of me, yes. I mean, I just have not said anything about that because I always put that game in November.
Sure.
That's that game in November. That's the game I get. This is what we get warmed up for. I get what you're saying.
But aren't you? But aren't you always kind of measuring yourself against Ohio State
Yes.
when you're at Michigan?
Most definitely.
And I said could.
No,
to be
you're
fair,
right. But if this offensive line keeps coming the way it's coming now, and that defensive line still improves, and if Rob Moore and who's the other kid that's out for in the secondary? There's one more kid that's out. But
Zeke Berry's been out.
Yeah,
He's
Zeke. If Zeke Berry comes back strong, you're looking pretty good. You'll start looking pretty good. In USC, that USC game, it's scary because you got to go out west, and it's always tough to travel out west and play a game.
It is. They haven't won a true road game out there since 1989.
Right.
There haven't been that many, but I think it's been a handful, 6, 7, whatever it was. In that 89 game at UCLA was a struggle. So it's not easy. And you're right. I mean, I'm glad you brought up Zeke Berry because you got Rod Moore back and he's going to get healthier. And then Zeke Berry, he needs to be back for USC because they're going to have a lot of receivers on the field, which means Michigan's going to have to match with a lot of DBs. They're going to throw the ball a lot. Jaden Mayava, their quarterback, looks really good right now. So they need Zeke Berry back. They need the secondary to improve. It's a good time for a bye week this week to kind of clean some of those errors up. And then in the D-line, they got to get pressure on him and make him uncomfortable. It's funny, I watched a decent amount of Nebraska coming into last week, and Raiola looked so comfortable back there. He knows exactly where to go with the ball. He gets it out on time. It's on target. He was completing nearly 80% of his passes. And I said before last game, it's going to be different if Michigan can get in his face and make him uncomfortable. And sure enough, I know he had some success, but it's different. The pressure is just everything when it comes to pass defense. I know the secondary's got to clean things up, but if they can have that pressure that they had, last weekend, you can win a lot of games with that, regardless of who's back there. But getting healthy would not help either in the secondary against a team like USC in a few weeks.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, look, like I said, USC, that's what they did to Michigan State. I watched the game. They started throwing on Michigan State, which Michigan State started throwing, and I'm like, why are you trying to throw? You need to eat that clock. Y'all need to eat the clock.
Right.
Stop trying to throw with them. You need to eat the clock. You can run the ball on USC, and they decided to throw the ball and try to play catch up and try to do all the things, and they made mistakes. Sorry.
Yeah, it's true. And Michigan's got to run if it's Michigan against the Lincoln Riley team, they've got to be able to run the ball too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm encouraged by, Justice Haynes. And then can we talk about Jordan Marshall for a second? The broken tackles. That the first play of that one drive, he breaks a tackle, goes for 8 yards. They leave him in, and they're like, okay, let's go back to him. And then he breaks off that 54. That was awesome. And then you have, at the end of the game, he puts the game on ice because he got out along the sideline, got down in bounds. You got two really good backs, and the O-line was opening a lot of creases.
Yeah, they were. And it was I mean, like I said, you got two great backs, and we call it law and order now. And
I love it. I love it.
They know what to do with the ball. They take it in and get it in the end zone. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm happy to see the offensive line coming around. Now I'm going to say this to you: do you think Sharon Moore had something to do before he left? Before he left to do anything, it seemed like that offensive line with the two young guards, they really got some coaching up.
Yeah, and Vic Poggi revealed that he spent every individual practice period with the offensive line all week leading up to the CMU game. And some of those guys have talked about it. Evan Link was saying, and I think all of us who have played at any level can resonate with this, when the head coach is pushing you and giving you pointers and standing behind you during a drill, it's just a different level that you're going to play at.
Yep.
And the message is going to be heard loud and clear. Like, Jamie, if Bo would have spent every practice period with the running backs and he's all over you guys, the standard is going to be a little bit higher, right? You're going to perform at a higher level. And I think the same goes when you have an offensive line coach as a head coach who knows what it needs to look like and is going to hammer that point home. And then we saw it. So CMU is not, the best D-line they're going to play. I think Nebraska is probably one of the worst D-lines in the Big Ten at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They took a big step back after what they lost from last season.
Right.
But regardless, a month ago, I don't know that Michigan's opening up the holes that they did against CMU in Nebraska. So they've definitely made a lot of progress. And now you have Sharon Moore back. And I think he's going to spend as much time with them as he needs to, because he understands that is the number one most important position group on that offense outside of quarterback, especially at a place like Michigan.
Without a doubt. You got a quarterback like they have. That protection is the most important thing, and running is the second most important thing they need to do. I agree with you on that. Clayton, really appreciate you coming on, being a part of the M Zone. Let's keep this on a regular basis, right?
Sounds good to me. Thanks for having me.
That's Clayton Sayfie from Wolverine.com. We need to go to a break. We come back. Hey, I'm just the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. Embrace me, man. So here's what we got. We do not have, bottom line, with Thomas Gwines. He's out of town. But you got me and Big Sweet, baby. And so what I'm going to say to you is, and here's the question of the day. Are you happy with where we are in the bye week at 3-1? Or did you expect us to go 4-0? Or did you have a different record for us? All of that. I'm asking that question. That's my question of the day. What was your record for the coming into the first bye week? Because we got another one coming up. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Derek Laughlin in for the Miz Man, and we got the big sweet himself, big sexy sweet man, Larry Lee.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, Larry, Rolls Royce,
What's up?
Car wash.
Car wash. Hey, you know, being a bass player, that's the funkiest little bass line. Doom, 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 doom. Work and work. And you see how fired up I got real quick?
I know. That's why I was just listening to it. Me and Derek were jamming to it, man.
But you know what? That whole album was phenomenal.
Really?
Listen, remember the song "I Wanna Get Next to You"?
Yeah.
Remember that was on. That was on there.
Yeah. Oh wow!
They had about 6 hits on that album.
Wow!
Number 1 hit. Check out that album. What
Rolls
a
Royce.
great old school album.
I will.
Car Wash album by Rolls Royce.
Playing on my way home.
And you gonna go
998-1050, 734-998-1050. Did you expect this kind of season at the break? 3-1, 4-0, or were you a little bit less? 2-2, maybe 1-3. I ain't gonna say 0-4. I ain't gonna say that.
I'll be honest. I did think 2-2.
Well, where was the loss? What'd you think? We was gonna get beat in the Plains twice?
Yes.
Oh
I
my
did.
goodness! What?
I did. Yes, I did. I did. I had us losing to Nebraska and Oklahoma, but
Wow.
I'm glad to say that I was wrong.
Okay. I'll take that. Derek, where were you? What you think?
I'm sorry. Man, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. 2-2. I'm
You were
with
2-2 too?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, just because the unapproved, right? Unused,
Right.
proven, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
that's the whole reasoning. Yep.
734-998-1050, 734-998-1050. Give us a call. I'm going to tell you what I thought.
What'd you
thought
think?
we would go 3-1. Now, we were
You're
either
right.
going to lose to Oklahoma or we were going to lose to Nebraska. Not to both of them. We was going to beat one of them. I thought we could get Nebraska.
And you were right.
Now Oklahoma, that was gonna be a battle because that's Big Ten versus SEC. Y'all know that. You know that was that competition. It was Big Ten versus SEC, and they wanted this. They wanted it in a big way. And you beat Michigan that way. You telling America, hey, we ready to rock. We gonna rock everybody like this, and that's what they did. They sung the lullaby to us, and we went night night. We went night night.
Mine wasn't necessarily that way because of being a Michigan hater. It was because we had the 2 offensive linemen that were hurt,
Right.
and I did not know the barometer for the quarterback yet. I didn't know. That's the reason why I went 2-2. It wasn't like I'm trying to go against Michigan, but
No,
those two parameters or those 2 factors caused me to go 2-2, and I'm glad I'm wrong.
I'm gonna add this one. Before I take our first caller. Are the Tigers fried, died, and gone? Or are you still on the train?
Nah. Hey, goodbye. All right.
You singing the song? It's
Yeah,
over.
I'm not singing the song. I'm singing the song.
Oh man, Derek,
Sang.
are you still holding on with one arm or what?
Doing what I can. Yeah, I mean, this one arm's not holding on too tight here. Starting to slip the grip a little bit, boys.
I'm that brother holding on, baby. I'm holding on to the caboose. I'm holding on. I'm like a flag waving in the wind, but I'm holding on.
Well, next week one of us will be helping the other one.
Exactly.
Either you be talking us off the ledge, or I'll be talking you off the ledge, or making you realize reality, or you're
Oh,
gonna make us
man.
realize reality.
734-998-1050. 734-998-1050. What's up, Hadley?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Houston, as you know, is playing today. Their game is about 4 innings in, and they're winning 7-0.
Okay, Hadley. Okay, you
Nah,
just like
nah,
to bring,
nah,
you just
nah.
like to bring some badass news.
Nah, nah,
Hadley.
nah, nah. Sing it with me, Hadley. Come on, Hadley. Join in. Join everybody. Join in now. Nah, nah, nah,
Goodbye.
nah. Good.
Na 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 na.
Thank you, Hadley.
Wow,
Yeah.
Wow.
it's
So
okay.
that means Jamie that they got to win tonight. Otherwise, those two teams are tied with 3 games to go.
I
for
got
the
you,
final
bro.
spot.
I got you.
You got it. You got it.
All right, so talk to me about
Yeah.
Michigan. Where did you think Michigan would
Yeah.
be at this bye week?
I thought they would be 3-1. I thought they would lose to Oklahoma rather than Nebraska. We've had Nebraska's number the last few years, and the first time we've played Oklahoma since the bowl game during the regular season, this first time. So yeah, I expected the Oklahoma loss more than anything else. Now, when's our next bye after this?
I think it's after the Michigan State game.
Okay.
I think it's
So,
there.
well,
Where
so
is
they
it,
go
Derek?
4.
Let's see. October 4th, Wisconsin, USC. October 11th, 18th, Washington. 25th is Michigan State.
Yep.
The first is Purdue, I think, Northwestern the 15th. So the second week of November is
Second
our
week of November. Okay,
Next
we
bye.
got it.
Wow. Yeah, see, Jamie, I thought they would go 4, take a week off, 4 more, take
Yeah.
a week off.
That's what I
And then
thought.
finish
4
off.
and 4.
But they're going what? 4, 6, and 2, something like that.
Yeah. That's what it
Wow,
looks
that's
like.
not good.
Well,
That's-
you know what? Hey, every little break they get to take, that means they get to mend those wounds, right?
Yeah, and they get the rest up and everything else, and that's what they're going to need. They
Right.
definitely need the rest and stuff. So, and then of course, did you just refresh me? Did you play some more? Did Moore talk? Moore didn't really talk this week, did he?
Yeah, he talked
did,
it. We
yeah.
played him. We played him. I think we
Did
played
he-
him
Did
yesterday.
he elaborate much on the injury front?
About who?
Just anybody.
No, he talked about
You got,
Rob
like-
Moore. He talked about geez, he didn't elaborate. I mean, he said the guards are coming along. That's what he said.
Right. He did. Yep.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and then, but luckily we got some wide receivers and some tight ends. They're not injured, so hopefully, cross our fingers for that,
Well,
right?
I hope they're at
Gotta
the
step
jug, I
up.
hope they're at the jug machine catching.
Right.
Yeah.
They need to be
Big time.
catching 102 balls. Boom. 102. Boom.
So
Boom. Just catching.
would Bo do that? Did Bo do that too?
We had jug machine, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he make you guys when the wide receivers messed up and stuff? Did he make them run the steps?
He didn't make them run the steps. You know what? Bo, he had his ways. We throw the ball at him, hit the jug. The jug machine would come out a little harder.
Wow. And how did you do at the jug machine?
I caught balls, Hadley.
Well, you had to.
99 to make it real good.
So you get 100 balls thrown at you?
Hadley, you after practice, you'd like to get something. You like to get some work in with the coach every now and then. You got to play to the coach, right?
Yeah. Right. That's true. You do.
Everybody's got to play to the coach, and the coach is going to ask you, "What you do today?"
Right.
Yeah. Well, Larry, I don't know what to tell you about these. What we've been saying about that baseball team we've been talking about.
Oh my God,
Jamie. No, Jamie. This is all I'm going to say. We got a chance. We still have a chance to win the division.
Right.
But if we end up in a tie, Cleveland wins it.
Yes, I get it. I
Okay?
get that.
Now, if we tie Houston at the end, then we get a wild card spot.
Yeah,
And
because
most
we beat
likely,
them.
According to Miz,
Right.
it would be the sixth and final spot, and we would play Cleveland.
Exactly.
No.
What-
No.
You get a chance to redeem yourself. Don't.
Under normal circumstances, Jamie, there's something stinking somewhere. Something stinks. We haven't figured it out.
Larry, when the playoffs start, everything starts over. Like, every team's 0-0. It's
That's
like
true.
a whole new fresh start.
That is true. But go ahead.
You both
I
go
say
ahead.
simply say I do not like the Tigers doing a bullpen night. I mean, don't we have any more starting pitchers?
no, we
No.
don't. Honestly, I don't think we do, bro.
Oh. Well, we've seen how the bullpen's been behaving the last few days and stuff.
You got to show you believe in them, though, Hadley. You got to stay with them. Look, it was last year. It was great. Everybody loved it. Everybody enjoyed it. Now you want to put the kibosh on it.
I didn't say that. That's your cohort, and that's your co-host over there. No.
I know what he's talking about. I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, he's been in Detroit longer than I have, so I mean, he knows. I guess.
Jamie, you probably don't know the answer to this, but Miz would probably know. But how many of the Tigers from last year, when they made that run and made the playoffs, do you think are still on the team this year? Give a guess. I know. I don't know.
I think mostly all of them.
Really?
I think they didn't make any real big trades or anything, Hadley. They tried to keep the team together. They wanted to keep as they say, you want to keep the nucleus the same, right?
Right. That's true. We do, but the nucleus is not hitting. That's the problem, Jamie. We're not hitting the ball.
Right.
They are
They're not-
pitching. Hey, Screwball gave you a great game. It's not
yeah,
it's not the pitching's fault.
Oh, it was in the sixth inning. That's the worst inning he's ever done.
I get it, but he hit the man in the face. He fractured the guy's face. I mean, Hadley,
Yeah, but
he came apart.
He threw a pass ball and he committed an error.
Hey, I don't know what the hell he was doing with that ball. Turn around
I
and
don't
throw it to the first baseman. That's all you got to do.
Was he
Jump on
pretending-
the ground.
Was he pretending to be Larry Lee and he was going to hike it instead?
He must have saw Larry Lee. He must have saw Larry Lee somewhere. 'Cause
Hey, that's more of a punt snap.
that's what I'm saying. He thought he was hey, punt it.
Hey, Larry, when you were the hiker in football and stuff like that, and I'm just asking,
You mean the
did
center?
you ever hike it over the punter's head?
Over the punter's head? No.
Or never
I
did?
had
Good.
I was pretty solid. I had one very low shotgun snap to John Elway that was my fault. But Jamie will tell you in the NFL, when you're a center and you're dealing with quarterbacks, you are always wrong.
Oh yeah,
The quarterback is always right.
always.
And,
right.
always right. But
Yeah.
I did have a low shotgun snap to John Elway once.
Now, and aren't all quarterbacks a little different? How you hike the ball to them and stuff? Do they all want their own way, kind of, or is everybody almost the same?
Yeah, probably so. But most of the time, if you just hit them in the mid area, their chest or their stomach with the ball, like on a shotgun snap, they're good. They're good with that. But now punting, believe it or not, even though it's a 15-yard snap, those punters are the ones that get really weird, wanting it on their right hip or down low near their groin or up high or near their face. That's the tougher one to have to adjust to is those punters, man. They could be fickle sometime, man.
But when you played on the offensive line, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you do more of that than the punting, being the center?
Oh yeah. I played all across. I played all across the front. You know, in my NFL career, at some point in time, I started at center, left guard, right guard, tight end, H-back, fullback, and nose tackle. And I was a starting punter, punt snapper, and field goal snapper.
Okay. So this is, I don't know if you guys ever been asked this, but we all know Jamie, of course, the running back and stuff, and Larry, you ran too when you could. But who would win in a 40-yard dash?
Between who?
You two.
Oh, Jamie, absolutely. But I tell you what, I was Big Sexy. Now I'd have been right on his hunches. He wouldn't have been waving goodbye to me too far, but I'd have been right on his butt.
Yeah. Now, is UCLA home or away this weekend? I think they're away.
They're away.
They're going to Northwestern.
They're going to Northwestern, right?
Why do I know the schedule better than
I know, because I don't care no more.
Better
No.
than Larry.
I know. Hey, Hadley, is that you or Philly E that says UCLA? I think it's you that say UCLA, right?
It's me.
Yeah, well, it's UCLA. We're UCLA. Yeah, we are UCLA right now.
You're ugly, UCLA. I mean, you're just UCLA.
All right, Hadley, it's time for you to go. Sorry, I gave you time.
All right, Hadley.
I do appreciate it.
Goodbye. Talk to you. Talk to you tomorrow. 734-998-1050. Let's go to Tom in Indiana. What's up, Tom? Tim. I'm sorry, Tim.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
What's up, Tim?
Good. Go Blue, first of all.
Go Blue to
3-1's a
you.
good start.
Did
3-1's a good start. I told you in May they'd end up maybe 9-3, 10-2.
Right.
Well, we passed that first hurdle in Nebraska because I told you we would have those problems in Oklahoma. Right. The only other problem may be USC because I know we're going to go down the stretch. As I look at the season at 3-1, we're getting stronger by the second.
Yeah, you're right. We are getting stronger.
Stronger by the second because we're developing linemen like we've talked about a million times.
Yep, that's true.
And the defense, you move Barham to the edge, and then you put Cole in there. Boom. Once you bring Ron Moore back, it's just getting stronger as a unit. And you had Sharon out for 2 weeks. What the heck are we talking about now? Now we're just developing this deep. How are we going to grind you which way? Are we going to pass the ball? Are we going to do this? I don't know. Everybody talks about them not throwing it deep and doing that. That's going to come in fruition.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, we gotta walk before we run. You're right.
You know, you get the tight end healthy in the other one. He was out, like, you look at the past 2 weeks, people don't realize it. 21, 22 guys on the injured list are probable. That's half your roster, Jamie.
Yeah.
That's half your roster. That's development. And I think we have such a good culture in Schembecker Hall, like no other, where we just next man up mentality.
No, you're right. You're right.
And that is who's going to be next. If you ain't doing right, we're going to throw the next guy in, you know, and you probably dealt that with Bo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And going forward, I'm really thrilled with 3-1. Did I not like the Oklahoma game? No, nobody did. Because we just you're throwing a freshman quarterback in there. I think that game has built him up like I've been in that environment before. We go into USC, as long as it's not like 11 o'clock night game, Eastern time, he'll be in good shape. But I think he's developed to the point like this is where I got to get my guys and boom, and move on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I really got for you, Jamie. I mean, go Blue. And, you know, this bye week, I tell you what, I ain't going to lie. I can't wait to see Oregon just beat the brace off of Penn State because.
So you thinking Oregon's got this one?
Oh, I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns at least.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
You say it's wild. I think they're going to win by like Moore's a good quarterback. You know, I don't know who calls him fraud, James or whatever. I don't care. He will choke. He will choke on. Never mind, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Keep it clean.
I'm trying to. Sorry, Larry. And then going out to Washington. Oh man, the Buckeyes. They might be in for something for a little bit, but they'll pull away. The officials will just try to keep the Buckeyes in the national presence. That's simple.
I hear you. Tim, I really appreciate your phone call. Enjoy, go blue to you, and enjoy your time in Indiana.
I will. And we will send more basketball players up that way because they come pretty good from here.
They do. They do. We appreciate that.
All right. Yeah, well, I'll have Glenn Robinson send a few. Go blue, bye.
Bye. Thanks, Tim. What'd you say?
I just thought of something that made me angry.
What?
These guys got 2 bye weeks and they're getting paid. Oh my God.
You just now thinking that?
It just ding ding. Wait a minute. Hold on. These guys get 2 bye weeks and they're getting paid. God dang, Jay.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. We need hold on, Brady. Hold on, Philly E. We'll come right back to you. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. Oh.
I'm gonna be the grumpy old man. Dang.
What the heck? Oh, this is I don't know what this is.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Derek Laughlin in there for Miz. And we got nothing but you got the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, he played in that Monday night game that stopped those 85 Bears from going undefeated. That's him, Larry Lee. We call him Big Sweet. I can't hear him, Derek. He's singing.
Oh,
there you go. Now
There we
you
go.
can do it. Now you can
oh,
do
there's
it.
that record. Remember that old record? Oh, what a night. That was a great
Oh,
night.
that was a night. That was a night. I'm not going to forget that. Oh, my goodness. Hey, tomorrow, don't forget, International Pancake Day is tomorrow.
Ooh.
Cracker Barrel, $5 all-you-can-eat hotcakes.
And you know
Cracker
what?
Barrel.
Cracker Barrel got great pancakes.
I'm just
I
letting
like
you
that.
know. You
I
know
like that.
IHOP got something going. And
I know.
Perkins, if you know Perkins, I don't know, some of you may not
I
know.
know Perkins. Perkins,
I'm
yeah.
just letting you know they got something going too. So I'm just letting you know. Or you can visit your favorite greasy spoon and get you something. I know they
Yeah.
doing something.
Ain't nothing like some pancakes or whole cakes. Whole's got to eat too.
Exactly. 734-998-1050. 734-998-1050. What's up, Brady?
Hey, fellas.
What's
This
up,
is
Brady?
Brady from Ohio. Big
What
Sweet.
part of Ohio? What part of Ohio?
Southern Ohio, Portsmouth, Ohio.
Portsmouth, down by West Virginia, down Wheeling.
I tell you what, Lee, Mike Haley country.
Oh man, come on now. You said, hey, I love me some Mike Haley. Mike Haley was, let me tell you about Mike Haley, Jamie. Mike Haley was the all-state Hall of Fame basketball coach in my high school.
Really?
And he also played, I forgot who he played. He played for Portsmouth High, right?
Yeah, and he went to Ohio U.
Yeah, he went to Ohio U, all-world. He was a Hall of Fame basketball coach, passed away maybe 7, 8 years ago, man. My man, Mike, begged me to play basketball. I should have played basketball. I didn't. Hey, thanks for bringing up Coach Haley. What a great name.
Okay. Well, Jamie, I can handle 3-1, but I was listening to Coach Moore saying that we're going to put on a show and all of that before the season started.
Yeah.
So I had us 4-0.
You did. Okay. All right. Well.
Wow.
But because I was thinking Bryce, the way they were saying, balls were going to be flying everywhere and our offense was just going to be unstoppable. But what I've noticed in these 4 games, that Bryce Underwood is a Michigan man. 400. He don't care about throwing 400 yards right now. That will come. But he likes to bust you in the mouth just like Michigan wants to.
Okay.
Yes, he
All
does.
right.
Yes, he does. He knows him 400 yards. He's got 3 more years. That's going to show up. But right now, he wants to bust you in the mouth, and I'm tagged him as a Michigan man already, regardless of what hecklers want to say. He wants to bust you in the mouth, and that's Michigan football.
I agree with you, Brady. I agree
right,
with
Brady.
you on that one.
All right. Hey, Jamie,
Uh-huh.
I need to talk to Larry Lee offline. I know a whole lot of his people.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'll make sure
Hey,
that I'll hook
Hey,
it
Brady. Hey, Brady, I have an older brother that went to college in Chillicothe, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, sir.
up. I
All
will
right,
make
man.
sure
Yeah.
that happens,
Hey,
okay?
and I met him.
All right. Let's talk offline. Yes, sir.
My man. Love y'all.
Be good,
Love you.
Brady.
All right, brother. Yes, sir.
Go Blue. 734-998-1050. 734-998-1050. All right, Philly E, what you got?
What do I got? Okay, so tonight is the night, I think. Tonight's the night where this thing, if it's going to turn, I think it's going to turn tonight. The Tigers either going to come out kick ass and take names, or they're going to steal this game late, and it's going to change their fortunes for the rest of the year.
I hope so.
This is the night. I think tonight is the night. If not, then somewhere between. Where's the game? Is it in Boston or is it?
They're in Boston. They're going to be in Boston.
Yeah. Something's going to happen either.
Well, we got to get this one in Cleveland. That's what you're saying.
Well, I think, yeah. Like, if it's going to turn, it's going to be tonight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not giving up hope on them yet. Just I know everybody's all down in the dumps, and quite frankly, Hadley's 100% right. All you have to do is get in. It does. I brought up the Yankees in 2000. They were 3-15 down the stretch. They ended up winning the whole thing. And I think I mentioned last week that the Phillies had to go to Atlanta and sweep them to put the Cardinals in the playoffs, and the Cardinals won the whole thing, beating the Phillies, who got them in, right, in 2011. So it doesn't matter. You just got to get in. You just got to get in. So that's where I'm at with that. And in terms of Michigan, I got to say I had them at 4-0. I didn't think OU would be that good in the trenches. I really didn't. I just didn't see that one coming. I thought that was where we would have a distinct advantage. We obviously didn't. We got beat on both sides of the ball in the trenches. That being said, and Mateer turned out to be. I know Devin.
Better than advertised. Better than advertised.
Yeah, well, Devin was saying last year that this kid's really good because he did his games. But that kid was a magician, strong as an ox for a little white dude. So,
wow.
They couldn't tackle him. They couldn't get him down to the ground. Think about how many times we missed him. You miss a sack, and not only does he not throw the ball away, he completes it and just cuts your heart out, right? So,
yeah.
And that kept drives alive. So,
so what happens to Oklahoma now with him out? He can come back. They said in 3 weeks, I think.
I don't know. I don't know what they have back. I don't know what they have in terms of their schedule. I don't know what they have as a backup quarterback. That remains to be seen. I know one thing: their defensive front looked pretty awesome last week. They had 9 sacks. To me, it looked like they had like 11 or 12 sacks. I guess some of them he must have got back to the line of scrimmage or maybe a yard. But really, though, it looked like 12 sacks to me. I mean, it was crazy. So they're gonna have to go to war for the next 3 weeks to keep them in this thing. But I'm not real like Jamie. I know they're your squad and all. What the hell is Alabama ranked 17 for? Why are they 17?
Why is Notre Dame still in the top 25?
No, I mean,
I'm just
I
saying.
guess you could say they lost to 2 good teams. I guess.
I don't care.
They were both heartbreakers.
When you lose 2, when you go 0-2, you get knocked out. You get knocked out.
Well, all right. I will say this: if you remember, Michigan lost 2 heartbreakers to Notre Dame and Miami in '88. I think we were still ranked and we were 0-2, but they were probably the top 2 teams in the country.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, they were legit 1-2. I mean, we don't know who's good right now. I mean, it's a high
we don't know who's good because no one's played really anybody. We don't know. Right. I mean, everybody still thinks Ohio State should be up there. But how good is Texas? Really?
We already know they're phony in their $3 bill, right? They don't even have a quarterback right now.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not.
They don't have a quarterback. Would you want him as your quarterback? I know I wouldn't.
I'd take Bryce. I'm sorry, I'd take Bryce.
Oh, that's not even a discussion at this point. So, but we're 3-1, and quite frankly, we all know because it was a conference game. The Nebraska was the more important game all along. In fact, I did question, and I'll say this before I move on. Wink put those kids in a position to make plays against Oklahoma. He did. The kids missed, they just didn't make plays. There was things to tighten up. Chip, on the other hand, did not put us in a position to win that game. But obviously, I think we learned our lesson from that loss. We looked a lot better last week. We're still doing some things. We're still leaving plays out there. But there's one thing that we all know. we got dudes and we have pieces, and we put it together, we're as good as anybody. We got some people that can literally take over a game. One on each side of the ball. So one on the edge and one at running back. And
we got two running backs that can take over games.
Well, yeah. Obviously, Mr. Marshall looked pretty damn good last week.
Exactly.
Now, we got to figure out the receiver thing. Maybe we put more on God, what's the kid's name?
I don't know.
Oh my God, why am I Marsh's plate? Maybe we put more on his plate because there's upside there, and maybe we can, accelerate his maturation as well, because and the opportunities are there because we have guys that aren't catching the football. They're just not catching the ball. So maybe we'll put more on his plate. We do have like the whole Hanson and Klein, the whole double tight thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, when you got to deal with a team that's double tight, you can balance out defenses that way, and we can threaten people that way as well. The only thing about that is maybe do you have to take the fullback? I mean, do we go ace formation and take our fullback off the field? I don't know. I really don't want to take him off the field. So I guess those are things that you're going to have to consider. Because if you remember, I look back to if you remember Colorado, remember they used to run the old full house power eye. You remember right. But they transitioned to ace formation.
They did.
Remember when?
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know. I kind of liked the whole Darian Hagan with the two fullbacks. The one was offset running that power eye. Nobody did that, right? It was cool, right?
It was.
It was cool.
I got a thought.
Information because they had those two tight ends.
Hold on, Larry's got a thought.
Hold
on, Larry's got a thought. What's up?
What if you take one of the running backs and put him in the slot?
I like them in the slot. Them kids can catch. They can catch.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
okay.
I know one thing, man. You could get 22 if you get him out in space too. I mean, you can't lose there. I mean, if you get 22 out in space, he's pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, he runs through contact, but he's got some wiggle, and he'd be great in space as well. So the point is, we have some pieces, and I think we're only going to get better. That's where I'm at with that.
Philly, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Aaron Judge or Kyle Riley for AL MVP?
The kid from Seattle, gotta be.
Okay.
Kid from Seattle. He just broke Mickey Mantle's all-time record for home runs with a switcher. The kid's going to hit 60, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to give it to him, man. Because this dude's pretty much come out of nowhere. I know he had a decent year last year, but who the hell saw this? You know what I mean? Who saw this? And they're going to make some noise in the playoffs, possibly. So I'll give it to Riley right now. And in terms of, I was watching this. I was listening to Sam today, and I was listening to people on ESPN this morning. They're going on about the whole thing about Green Bay, and I get it. I give Matt LaFleur. I give him a hard time.
Yeah, you give him a hard time.
I just don't like how Kenny thinks the guy invented the game. So as far as I'm concerned, he's Matt LaFraud until he wins something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can he coach? Yeah. Right. And I honestly, I think it's more of a quarterback problem. I don't understand why they think that Jordan Love, I don't understand why they think he's that dude yet. I don't know what he's really, think about what has he really done to deserve all this street kid? Okay. He won a playoff game in Dallas, and that's pretty much saying you're the tallest midget.
Yes, and didn't they give Aaron Rodgers a lot of just due when Brett Favre left?
Yeah, but he eventually ended up winning 4 MVPs. I don't know what this kid has done yet.
I get it, but he's the next great. He's the next great.
I get all that, but he's got to do it first. I mean, people forget. Okay, you want to give him the credit what he did in Dallas. did you see what he did the very next week at San Francisco?
Yeah, he pooped the
down
bed.
the stretch.
I saw it. He pooped the bed.
He imploded. Oh, by the way, and that may have been the worst thing. Now, that wasn't the Mona Lisa of young quarterbacks imploding down the stretch. Big Swede.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I need your help on this.
Okay.
Because you happen to be there. Big Swede, let me take you back in time. Here's the all-time implosion of a quarterback down the stretch.
Okay.
Mack and Biner are out the door in Miami in the first round of the playoffs. And the Dolphins, the great Dan Marino, are trailing 21-3.
Right.
Now, Dan Marino leads that team back to finally take a lead. I think Davenport scored a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you remember, Bernie Kosar is like a 20 or 21-year-old rookie.
Right.
True rookie. No three-year red shirt like Jordan Love, right?
Right.
If you remember, the Browns had the worst 2-minute drive in the history of the National Football League. That is the creme de la creme of quarterback implosions during a 2-minute drive. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Love was that bad, but it conjured up memories of that. All right, so we're, everybody likes to conveniently forget that it would happen in San Francisco the week after Dallas. So, and he was no great shakes at Philadelphia in the playoffs last year, and in the big game at Minnesota to finish the year, the one a week 16.
Right.
He pretty much sucked in that game for 55 out of the 60 minutes.
So
what are we talking about here? Is this really a guy that's going to take you to a Super Bowl? I'm from Missouri now. All of a sudden, you got to show me.
Show me, right?
Show me now.
You show me this. Yeah, it's the show me thing.
I hear you loud and clear. I say not yet. I don't think he's ready to but you've heard me say on this show several times before, the quarterback play in the NFL is way down. So almost, how do you get the resurgence of a Flacco? How do you get a resurgence of the boy out in Seattle now? What's his name out in Seattle? That was in Minnesota.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. The quarterback position is so watered down now that you can't have the same criteria to judge them as before. Because it's easy to be successful now at quarterback. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I just think right now, the Eagles right now, and you already know, I'm a Viking fan, and just because I'm Philly doesn't mean I'm on this bandwagon, but I got to call it like I see it right now.
You need to be on that bandwagon.
Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the Eastern Conference of the NFC.
Say that again.
Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC East.
And the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC now.
I think they're the best team in the NFL. I mean,
I don't know. This team in Detroit seems to counter that.
They're pretty good.
I'm just saying, this team in Detroit, they see you make them mad. Don't make them mad. That's all you got to do. They got good hearing, because if you make them mad, they come a knocking and they knock you out.
I truly.
They're a hell of a lot more dangerous team when they really focus on the run and everything off of
you're right.
Run game.
And that's what Dan Campbell did.
Not as good.
Everybody doesn't give Dan Campbell credit. He went up there and talked to John Morton, and said, "Look, we're a running team. I don't know where you think you're going to throw the ball. I don't want Jared Goff throwing the ball all the time. I'll tell you when I want him to throw. You just run the rock until I tell you."
Sonic and Knuckles.
They have a two-headed monster in the backfield.
Exactly.
With those two running backs. And if somebody's going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, I think that would be the way. The only thing is, I'll tell you what, though. You saw something last week. I always said that I like Hurts as a quarterback, but I always said if you took away the quarterback run game, I didn't know if he was as good. But guess what? What the hell happened last week? Because they just pretty much had to throw their way back into that game. And guess what? he did it. And if if he's able to throw the football like that when they're down pretty big and lead them back and still win a game, and then you throw in the fact that they are the only team in the National Football League that is money inside the 5 or in short yardage on 3rd and 4th and short. They're the only teams that where it's almost a guarantee. That play, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. That's the ace up the sleeve that they have that nobody, even on a day where everything's equal, they have that in their back pocket, and no one else in the national. You saw what the Cowboys did. Stupid Dak, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal from the 1. What are they doing? They're throwing. You're throwing the football on 3rd and 4th and goal.
You gotta be able to run. You gotta be able to run.
Got to be able to run that rock. And when you have that automatic thing where you got Saquon squatting 600, pushing another guy that squats 600, it's a game changer. Nobody's got that in their back pocket. I know I keep harping on it, but we all know. I've been watching football for years, and you guys played. If you can convert on those 3rd and 4th and shorts, it's invaluable.
Much easier. It's much easier.
It's a game changer. It really is. Anyway, boys, I know you got to close. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Go Blue.
Thanks, Philly.
All right.
Appreciate
All
that.
right,
Hey, you know what we got to talk about tomorrow?
What?
Ryder Cup.
No. Oh, I thought it was going. No.
Hey, who you taking in the Ryder Cup? Are you a European or are you American?
USA.
I know what you are.
USA. USA.
USA.
I'm telling
USA.
you. Hey, I'm gonna say this. I'm an American, and I'm gonna cheer for them. But we usually get spanking Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
saying.
tomorrow, are we going to be smiling because of our Tigers, or are we going to be frowning because of our Tigers?
We smiling tomorrow. Tomorrow you gonna have some hope. You're gonna have hope tomorrow.
Keep hope alive.
We're gonna keep it alive.
All right.
Because them Astros, I don't know, they're gonna keep winning, like Hadley said. You've been listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. Did he hear me?
Yeah.
Have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. See you.
Do you have I'm done. Y'all done got me fried up. I gotta keep y'all in the game. You guys all giving up. You make your fans give up. Don't make the fans give up. You got to tell them they're coming. Coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be having